Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for 12 News at 6. I'm Mark Curtis.
And I'm Kadiba Devine. Communities across the state are scrambling to help an ever-growing, ever-changing homeless population. It's a population that's only gone up in the past 5 years. And despite millions of dollars going towards helping the crisis, people still aren't connecting with the right kind of resources.
The I-Team's Erica Stapleton is looking into a solution that's designed to help everyone. The 211 call center. Erica?
Hey guys, in my coverage of the zone to shelters in Tucson, we keep hearing from providers that people can call 211 as a one-stop shop to connect with help. Now we're getting a look at how that call center works.
Across Arizona is a network of more than 100 remote call takers, fielding calls 24/7 in both English and Spanish.
People are calling us about their housing, their food insecurity, health insurance needs.
All under the umbrella of 211. The call center working to connect people to the right housing services.
Housing crisis doesn't happen just during business hours. Being able to be available 24/7 is really important.
Ty Rosensteel is the senior director at Solari Crisis and Human Services, which oversees 211 and 988, Arizona's suicide lifeline. With 211,
in the past 5 years, we have seen significant increases in our call volume.
In 2018, there were 26,000 calls to 211. So far this year, there's been more than 156,000 calls. The dramatic increase exacerbated by the pandemic, and the types of calls have really shifted. In the past, most calls were for help with utilities and rent. But now,
the primary thing that people are calling us about this year is shelter.
More people are on the brink of homelessness or already experiencing it with nowhere else to go.
Why do you think more people are needing that emergency care?
Because of the decreased availability of rental assistance from the pandemic relief, and that's really begun to max out the capacity of our homeless services system.
The push to call 211 is intended to help reduce that strain on shelters that are often full. When people call 211, the call taker will work to screen that person in need and figure out which resources are best to help, rather than people in crisis making multiple calls themselves and landing on several different wait lists that might not even be the right fit. Jane's family is a prime example of how complicated help can be.
We've applied in every place that we're supposed to. We're doing everything that we're supposed to do.
The I-Team's covered her story throughout the past year, when she was homeless and pregnant, then when she was facing life on the street with a newborn and a 5-year-old. She'd been stuck on different housing wait lists, with nowhere to go but this homemade box.
We really need the help, and we can't even get it.
The I-Team helped her connect with an emergency shelter. And providers say 211 should be that lifeline that helps sort out confusion where people can and can't go for help and prevent homelessness altogether.
Are able to stay with friends, able to stay with family, able to investigate ways to stay in their unit without going to an emergency shelter.
So, Erica, conceptually, it sounds like a great asset for the city and for the state, but people are still falling through the cracks, right?
Yeah, they are, and one of the main reasons is because people don't know about 211.
Right, it's not
like the first thing. It's not like 911 where people know that off the back of their hand. You know, you do it, but that's something that these providers are really trying to push because it helps them become more organized, and it also really helps the people because it is a one-stop shop for different resources when people experiencing homelessness or on the brink of that have a lot of different needs, and
probably
it might be really confusing to navigate.
Yeah, probably not a lot of homeless people watching 12 News right now that are going to make this discovery.
Exactly. But I mean, even still, the call volume is going up. I mean, how difficult is it to staff this 24/7?
Well, they have people throughout the state doing this remotely, and a lot of those people have come from backgrounds where they may have experienced homelessness too. So they're really approaching this with compassion, but they say they are still hiring. As you can see, it's a crucial service, but they are available 24/7, holidays, weekends, anytime someone might need help, there will be someone ready to answer.
Let me ask you, you've done a lot of stories on homelessness and this homelessness epidemic in our state. Is it a question of, 211 is great, but if you don't have the resources to place these people in a shelter, temporary housing, what do you do?
Well, what we talked about today with 211 is, I asked them that exact question. I said, we've done stories with shelters who are full. They cannot take people in. The family that we profiled there, they were on a wait list with more than 200 other families trying to get into a family shelter. But with 211, what they often try to do and what they train their people to do is to come up with multiple solutions. So sometimes there can be emergency funds to maybe help people stay in an apartment or something for a month longer until they work on those long-term plans. So it really is the best place for people to go to get the resources they might need in the moment to set them up for longer term success, because you're right, it is a dynamic problem.
Right. So at least it's a starting point to something maybe more permanent in the future.
Exactly, and I think it helps a lot of the providers get more organized as they handle the increasing volume of people that need help.
Okay, Erica, thanks.